What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cracka. Got some interesting things to talk about. I'm gonna don a hat that everyone seems to enjoy, which I do as well. I was asked where I got it from. I actually got it from uh, Universal Studios in Florida, the Islands of Adventure. That's where I got the lovely hat. Wasn't too bad. I think it was like $12 or something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna do a very small review, but then another review, so it's kind of like a big review, but in different ways. Um, I haven't really been reading my new releases. I've been focusing on my back issues, reading them that I recently got, because I figured I'd get them kind of out of the way so I can box them. Because definitely one of my New Year's resolutions was to definitely be a little more organized, especially with my comic books and stuff like that. And I'm keeping to it slowly, but I'm keeping to it. And I figured, go backwards and fix stuff and whatever. Anyway, I read Amazing Spider-Man number 392, which I said before is a nice little nod to Amazing Spider-Man number 50. It's kind of crazy. This is like the aftermath of Peter Parker's parents, even though they were not real, uh, being destroyed, yada yada. And of course, Aunt May's in a coma. Not again. So Peter Parker kind of just snaps and doesn't want to be Peter Parker anymore. He wants to, I guess, stay as Spider-Man. And he comes home and, after he finds out Aunt May's in the coma, and just flips out and destroys his apartment. And then later on puts his mask back on, his costume, and puts himself in a cocoon of webbing in his bedroom. And just kind of hangs out there. Very interesting. It's got Shriek and Carrion in it. Then moving on to Amazing Spider-Man 397. Basically, Doc Ock, like the Vulture, had poisoned Spider-Man with something trying to kill him. And Doc Ock, Spider-Man kind of drops because he's feeling the effects. And Doc Ock kind of he comes over, he finds him, he's like, I could destroy you now. I don't want to be bothered with you though, because you're in your weakened state, and I'd rather have you at your best or something like that. And they show the clone Kane kind of flopping around, and this stunner girl who looks like Mary Jane as a blonde. I don't know. I think she's kind of like I forget what the hell her name is from the Secret Wars. Thundra or something? Not Thundra. That's a different one. She used to hang out with the Absorbing Man. Can't remember her name. Whatever. You get the point. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, but like I said, fills in my gaps. Now, another good reason why I'm wearing the Punisher hat is because I'm going to get into some Punisher stuff. And he's going to help me. No, I was reading that Jeff Loeb was claiming, apparently he let slip, that Marvel has 15 animated movies or something like that coming out direct to DVD and stuff like that they haven't finished. And they apparently have just finished one, which has to do with the Punisher and the Black Widow. The poster looked kind of cool. It was like a black and white looking thing, though. But who knows? I mean, 15 of them. Usually, I mean, you got to give DC credit. Usually, they kick a lot of ass in the animated stuff because they just pump them out. Marvel, it's you get one here every couple of years or something like that. Whereas DC, it's like every year they got 2 or 3 of them. But who knows? Like I was watching the new Young Justice. Not bad. They had Despero on. Very interesting, and I'm a fan of it. Not many people are, but the new Arrow, I think, is coming out on Wednesday, which I'm looking forward to, because the Merlin the Black Arrow latest episode, I guess, whatever, was just insane. I thought it was cool, but who knows? We'll see how that goes. I had gotten actually, I got 2 requests and 1 question kind of thing, which is very interesting. The one request, which I haven't done yet because it's going to take some time, but I figured I'll do it on my my rant video that has been getting a lot of feedback, a lot of views, which is cool. That's what it's meant to do. Get people, I guess, talking about it, how things can change in the community. Somebody had asked if I could do a video showing stuff that I had of celebrities I met or autographs and stuff like that, which I kind of threw that as a joke, but threw on that episode threw that as a joke. But yeah, what the hell, I'll get to it. I have a lot. I met a lot of people over the years and got a hell of a lot of autographs, so it's going to take a little while to make, especially with my camera that I have. Like I said, I'm back to my old one, and it just sucks ass, and I'm going to have to save up and get another one, because it just, I mean, it works, it just doesn't work as well as I'd like it to. It's always conking out. You put a brand new pair of batteries in there, and within like a minute and a half, it's dead, so whatever. But, so that's something that's to look forward to in the future. Also, the same thing on their request was to show more toys that I have. That's another one that's going to take a while. I might have to do bit by bit on certain things, because I have just boxes and boxes of stuff. Even stuff I haven't even boxed yet would take forever to do, so something in the future to look forward to. Before I get into the other requests and the questions, R. Dowdy 95, the great legend, I just want to tell him, I hope he's watching, that awesome idea with the legend spotlight thing. That's pretty damn cool, where he's going to spotlight somebody from the community. Very interesting idea, and I wish I thought of it. But, good luck. It's very cool. And I was talking to Captain Cummings, because when I was talking about the Amazing Spider-Man #4, about the comic book store that my friend told me about, he was saying you should save up for a little while and then go, after stuff like big books like that, which is totally true. Totally true. I actually have, which I mentioned to him, I actually have a jar that I'm actually going to try to put artwork around that I'm calling the Spidey Fund. Whenever I find change on the couch and like that, throw it in there. If I get change from something I buy, I throw it in there. And it adds up after time. I mean, no hurry. I got time. But we'll see what happens, because I talked to my fiance about it. I was like, it's a pretty good price. I was like, but it depends on what kind of condition it's in. I was like, if the cover is great but the book sucks, like it's rotted or the staples are shot, then it's not worth the $150. And even if it was graded, I don't think it'd really be worth the $150. If it was graded, then I'd obviously know what the hell condition it is. But so she said she wants me to. I told her I'd take a look at it and use my best judgment, which I would. I'm not going to just buy it to buy it. Especially if it's in poor condition. But if it's in great condition and they're charging $150, I told her, even if I don't even haggle the price, which I usually don't, that's a good book to have, especially in that, for that price. So she's like, all right, call me and tell me what it looks like. And she's like, and then, I'll let you know. I'm like, I don't know. But the funny thing is, the comic book store that I was told to go to that has this stuff, I have to laugh because I know exactly which one it is. My friend just gave me an address, and me being the dumbass that I am, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah, it looks familiar. It's called Grasshopper Comics, and I actually used to work right up the block from it. So when I looked at the address a couple times, I'm like, why does that look so familiar? And I couldn't think of it, and I'm just looking at it, I'm like, son of a bitch. I used to work doing landscaping for the town of East Williston, and every break I had, man, I'd be in that comic book store, and it really is a cool comic book store. But I didn't know they focused on a lot of the Spider-Man stuff now. So I'll take a look. Now that I know that is what I'm after, I guess, that store, I know how to get there a lot easier than looking in his directions. But who knows? It is a distance out of my way. But what the hell? The ones around lately have been pissing me off. So maybe it's time for a change. New year, new store. Who knows? Before I get into this other review that I had gotten that question from, I also wanted to go into something about, my cousin had asked me. My little cousin watched the show from time to time. Well, technically, it was my second cousin, but, cousins. He was saying, he likes the show, and he likes watching reading everyone's comments and watching other people's stuff that are from, I make comments on my video. And he said, he's like, he likes these things, but he said that everything looks like a giant competition on here. I told him I'd mention it on the video, so he's probably going to watch this one, but trust me, nothing is a competition on here unless you want to make it a competition. But honestly, if that's the point of this, it would suck, because there's always somebody better. Always somebody better. Always somebody who has more stuff than you, or, is better off than you. I mean, that sounds evil and harsh, but it's true. I mean, I could look at him like, oh, I got, 1,800 comics. Well, I got more now, but, 1,800 comics, and I have, this book and that book, and then somebody comes along and says, yeah, I got Amazing Fantasy number 15. Booyah! So that's my point, and I wanted to let him know, and I know everyone on here knows it's not a competition. We're doing it for fun. We're doing it to get in touch with people that share the same stuff we do. And like I said, if it was a competition, man, I'd win. I mean, I'd lose. I'd lose pretty bad, actually. I'd get my ass kicked on some of these things. But my other cousin I was talking to that is huge into comics, who got me into it, man. If I could get him to do a video, Jesus, man, we'd all lose. I think he might rival Captain Strangelove with stuff. That's how crazy I'm. Like, oh, not that it's crazy, but for collection-wise, because I think he's got like 3 rooms of just comic book boxes. They're just boxes. You go into the room and it's like a little pathway, and there's just boxes and boxes and boxes. So, yeah. So it's not a competition. Anyway, I'm going to another question, which is going to become a review. I had gotten a question similar to what I think Sonic the Hedgehog, his name was, on the live shows, when he asks about what do you think about Amazing Spider-Man and the Spider-Man movie. I got a similar question about the Punisher. Somebody asked, they said, hey, you know what do you think of the Punisher versus the Warzone? Yeah. And it was funny because the person that asked me didn't even know they had the one with Dolph Lundgren. I was like, well, what about the original one? They're like, well, yeah, Thomas Jane, that's what we're asking you about. I'm like, no, I'm talking about the Dolph Lundgren one. They're like, what Dolph Lundgren one? Pretty much the same answer I was going to go into with Spider-Man, is that they're the same character, but they're totally different from each other. Like, I look at the Dolph Lundgren one. Everything's really cool in this. I love this movie. The only thing missing is the skull shirt. But other than that, they kind of made it. It is kind of vicious, but they kind of made it. I guess kid friendly would be more of a thing. I mean, it's really not, but out of all of them, it follows the what the hell is it? His origins. His family's killed by the mafia. Except they had it where he was at his house rather than at a park or something like that. But slight differences. And Louis Gossett Jr. apparently is his partner and is trying to help him out, and whole big thing. The only thing disturbing is when you see Dolph Lundgren's balls in the sewer. We got into that in the live show. Let's get into that later. But then you move on to the Thomas Jane one, the Punisher, which is totally different than the other one, because in this thing the mafia doesn't just take out his family. They take out his family, like, everybody, like cousins, aunts, uncles, grandparents, parents, kids, their kids, everybody just wipes them out. And this was just an awesome movie. I loved it. It's one of my favorite Marvel ones. Brutal as hell on certain things. They didn't really get too much into it, but it just shows what kind of a strategist Frank Castle is. Like, he plans it out, like, this is what I'm going to do, and just works it. Then you get the Warzone, which is extremely, extremely close to probably the best Punisher adaptation, because it follows his origin. He's in the park with his wife and kids. The mafia kills him, and it's just gory. Like, he just goes in there and destroys stuff, and that's a lot of the Punisher that people like. This one, like I said, he plans a lot of it out. This thing, he just goes and takes you down. There's no planning. He just walks in there, destroys you, walks out. That's the end of it. So, very cool stuff. I mean, they're all great movies. They're all great to have, but like I said, they're totally different from each other. You can't really base them on as a whole, I guess. You can kind of put it as like a stage of evolution, but same thing with like the Batman movies. You can't really compare the '89 Batman to Batman Begins, because it's totally different. It's What do you think? Well, interesting. Anyway, I think that shall do it. I went over my flashy. I actually used this thing for a Green Lantern thing one time as a construct. I was trying to work it into like a... Let's not get into that. Anyway, yeah, I think I covered everything. Went over some stuff. I should get a shipment tomorrow, from what I'm told. Apparently, I'm getting a free book from Midtown. Ooh. Because I told them how pissed off I was, and that I'm no longer ordering from them. So I think they're trying to kiss my ass. They said they're sending me a free comic. They didn't tell me what it was. Just a free comic. I guess trying to keep me, but I'm still not sticking with them. They really kind of aggravated me to no end now. I'm like, eh. And then, of course, even if they tell me they're sending me a free comic, they tell me that my... Because, like I said, I have 2 back issue orders coming around eventually, and 2 new issue orders coming around. And I had gotten an email yesterday morning stating that my back issue one is delayed because they couldn't find this or that, and same BS they said before. And one of my other back issue ones, they said that they don't know when they're going to ship it out because they're having problems with their shipping now. And I'm like, wow, man, 2 different stories for the same thing. And of course, one of my shipments of the new issues, they're out of stock on a certain thing, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I've even though I'm getting a free book, if it shows up tomorrow, who knows? I'm just flat out done with them. I can't take it anymore. I'm probably gonna start ordering stuff off eBay, because sometimes you do find stuff really cheap on eBay. I have been finding a lot of old Amazing Spider-Man, well, not old, but 90s Amazing Spider-Man on there for pretty cheap. If you can get them in lots, then it's cool, but then I get a hell of a lot of extras, but whatever. Which I'm still thinking about, because I have a stack that when I went through my comics, I have like a stack of comics I'm looking to trade. So who knows, I might be making a trade video soon. There's a couple Amazing Spider-Mans in there that I have doubles of. There's a couple X-Men I have doubles of. Uncanny X-Men. There's a lot of non-Marvel DC comics that I know I'm never going to reread again or never touch. I don't really want to be bothered, so I threw them in there. It's just deciding how to do it, because I think Hippie's Cocked Up told me one time like how to ship stuff cheaply. Which, not to sound like a cheap bastard, but the way things are lately, it's rough. So if anyone knows of good ideas to ship things around cheaply, let me know, and I'll probably be making a trade video. I'm just going through like a final sweep through my comics because I kind of want to do it all in one shot rather than make like 15 trade videos. So I'm going through my last 2 boxes of comics to see if there's anything else in there that I just want to see if anybody wants to trade with me. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Long video. Didn't expect it to be that long, but it is. Anyway, if you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you really like what you see, hit the subscribe button. I always appreciate new subscribers and likes and comments and all that good stuff. And I'll probably make it a video tomorrow if I get the shipment in. Granted, it'll be 1 comic, but by then I'll probably have read a lot of other comics, so I'll have a review on the haul. Yeah. Anyway. It's not the size of your man cave that matters. It's who you punish in it. No, I mean, it's what you have in it.